athletic and I wanted to try all the different sports that were out there that were offered. I tried tennis lessons and swim team. My dad used to take me to all of the Syracuse University men's basketball games in the Dome, and so I fell in love with basketball, so I ended up going out for the basketball team. My girlfriend in the neighborhood's dad offered to coach softball, so she invited me to try out for the softball team, and so I played softball. And so I'd say kudos to our dads, who were the original ones who invited us, initiated, coached us, and sort of exposed us to sports in those days. So in middle school, I was in a big public high school, big district, and our equivalent back then of track in middle school was in 8th grade. I went out for the track team for 2 weeks. We trained, and then we had one big track meet, and I ran the mile and I anchored the 4x1. And since I ended up running a sub 6-minute mile and winning, the cross-country coach came over and invited me to run cross-country, which I had never heard of. But I went out, loved it, ended up running indoor and outdoor track all through high school as well as cross-country. And then I was recruited by a bunch of schools to run in college, and thinking back, not one of those coaches was female, they were all male. I ended up going to the University of Richmond, and I ran cross-country, indoor and outdoor track there for 4 years, and I loved it. And being a collegiate athlete entirely changed my experience of my college life, and I wouldn't change anything about it. I think it was a pivotal point for me in learning a lot of things that I have taken with me since then. I was hired at Binghamton University to be the men's and women's cross country and track and field, indoor and outdoor track and field coach. And having been in an individual sport through high school and college, I actually was was able to train and work alongside of men, so it wasn't unusual for me to walk into a place, and Binghamton made it very comfortable, and there was nothing strange about coaching men at that time. Thinking back, there weren't any other women that I know coaching men, but didn't faze me. I feel like it just was something that came naturally, and the university really supported and worked out well. After I coached, I also worked in administration at the university, and one of my roles was as the senior women's administrator. And as SWA, we had I think I can think back to 2 priorities in terms of advancing women's athletics. And one was to make sure that the students, the female student athletes, had an experience that was worthwhile and the best that we could offer. And then the other was to provide opportunities for women to grow in leadership roles and to be able to be head coaches. And so one of the things that we tried to do as SWA, I sat on most of the hiring committees, and we really worked hard at trying to bring in females who could at least start as assistant coaches, and then we can train them up. And some of them stayed at Binghamton as head coaches, and then some of those went on to coach at other schools, and to this day are having great experiences in women's leadership roles in athletics. And Binghamton was very committed to moving that forward. I have so many great memories, and I'm so grateful for all that Binghamton University offered me as a professional woman in leadership. When I started there, we would meet in a conference room, the whole staff, and then when I left, it was an entire Tau Bearcat club room. So we grew tremendously from 3 to Division quickly through 2 to 1 during that time, and so we got to wear a lot of hats, which was fun and very rewarding, and also helped me to grow in a lot of skills that I needed to have. I started as the only athletic academic advisor in the West Gym, and so I remember those days at 6 a.m. students would line up and they would be down the hallway waiting to have me help them with registration before we, in the antiquated days before we had technology, to help with that. And then leaving, when I left, there was a whole space we were able to design and probably 6 or 7 athletic advisors for the students to work with. I think the only reason that I am where I am today is because of female sports and the leadership roles that I was given, and the fact that starting at Binghamton it was so small and we just growing it to be so big. You got to wear all those hats and you got to learn all those transferable skills. You learn a lot of different things, and I was given a lot of chances to take risks and to grow and be creative. It was just really great to see how everybody was impacted and how everybody grew, and how much we all love the university and are proud of where it is today. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this celebration.